A Virginia Beach doctor gets locked up for 3 months after pleading guilty to healthcare fraud. Investigative reporter Margaret Kavanaugh was there as he learned his punishment from a Norfolk federal judge.
There were about 30 people inside the courtroom in support of this doctor, family, friends, and patients. Some disappointed by what the judge ruled.
I'm 84 this month, so he's kept me going.
A patient of Dr. Garfield Samuels for 10 years, one of dozens of supporters in the courtroom.
He's a modern day Robin Hood because he helps a lot of the poor, the people on Medicare, Medicaid.
But federal prosecutors say he defrauded the system out of $29,000. According to court records between 2017 and 2019, the doctor went to Jamaica 5 times, but he was billing hundreds of claims to Medicare and Medicaid. The patients were seeing a nurse practitioner, not him, when he was out of town. The doctor accepted responsibility in court and said that he was distracted and not paying attention to the rules as closely as he should have been. We spoke to his attorney.
Not necessarily intending to do something, but not being meticulous enough, being too careless to the point that it shades into, a fraud offense.
The National Healthcare Anti-Fraud Association says financial losses due to healthcare fraud are in the tens of billions of dollars each year. And while they don't have an exact amount, conservative estimates are at around 3%. While some government and law enforcement agencies think it's more like 10%, that's a loss of more than $300 billion. That means higher premiums and out-of-pocket expenses for everyone. But his supporters say this was a billing error and praised his work in the community. Jan James worked for him for more than 3 years.
We saw anybody and everybody that needed help and couldn't get care. We did that. We wanted to continue doing that, but right now we can't.
She testified he saw patients for free and was actually underbilling. Now his patients have to find a new doctor.
I could go to the VA. I could go to another prestigious place, but you're not going to find the same kind of care, the love, compassion.
His lawyer wanted to give him some time before he had to go to jail. However, the judge ordered that he would be sent there today. In Norfolk, Margaret Kavanaugh, News 3.
And today a judge decided that Corey Bigsby, the Hampton father of now 5-year-old missing boy Cody Bigsby, was not fit to stand trial and will be sent to a mental health facility. Corey will be sent to Eastern State Hospital where he will undergo restorative services that include mental health treatment. Bigsby faces over 30 child abuse and neglect charges unrelated to the disappearance of his son Cody. His family spoke to us shortly after the hearing. They believe Cody is still alive but is being sex trafficked.
Can you imagine if you was in prison for killing your son and your son is missing, you don't know where he is?
I believe in my heart, I know Cody is alive, but I believe he's trafficked somewhere.
Bigsby's attorneys also filed a motion to dismiss the father's case, and they're asking the court to drop all charges. Bigsby is due back in court in June. And today we got our hands on 2 of Corey Bigsby's mental health evaluation reports. Bigsby has been evaluated 3 times, but one was by a doctor not on the court-approved list. In the first report, a doctor evaluated Bigsby in January. That doctor said Bigsby showed an understanding of the charges against him and was competent to stand trial. The second report was presented in court today. Now, this doctor stated that Bigsby lacks the ability to cooperate with his legal counsel. Now, there are dramatically different accounts in these 2 reports, even down to where Bigsby says he grew up and his family situation. In his next court appearance in June, they will examine if his mental competency has been restored and decide if they can move forward with a trial. Coming up on News 3 at 6, changes to how people purchase firearms. We'll tell you how a new law impacts buyers and gun stores across an entire state. Developing right now, interim Norfolk Police Chief Michael Goldsmith is planning to retire on April 14th. Now, he served as chief of police from 2012 to 2016 before moving to deputy city manager. He was reappointed interim chief last year when former chief Larry Boone resigned. Our News 3 anchor Zach Dahlheimer learned an announcement is on the next chief, and that's expected soon. But the city told him a new interim chief may briefly be in place, depending on the timeline. Right now, you have a chance to win a pair of tickets for the 3-day Beach It weekend. The Live Nation Country Music Festival hits the Virginia Beach oceanfront June 23rd through the 25th. That lineup includes Miranda Lambert, Luke Bryan, and Thomas Rhett. You can sign up to win 2 3-day wristbands valued at nearly $500, and that's on the contest page of WTKR.com or in our mobile app. And today is your final day to help share the joy of reading with local kids. You can join News 3's If You Give a Child a Book campaign to ensure everyone here in Hampton Roads has access to books. Now, with your help so far, we've raised nearly $12,000 for young readers. So take a look at your screen. You can scan that QR code right there in the middle with your phone's camera, and that will take you right on over to WTKR.com where you can give. Every $5 will put one book in a child's hands. Now, there's still time. Again, today is the last day, so don't miss your chance to help young readers thrive.
Certainly not complaining about today's high temperatures. Most of us made it into the low to mid 70s, but I am tracking windy and much cooler weather on tap for part of the weekend. I'll have the timing just ahead.
Today, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine joined a group of lawmakers to introduce a new gun bill. The Background Check Completion Act would require a completed background check for every gun buyer who purchases a gun from a federally licensed gun dealer. The senators say that bill addresses a loophole that allows sales to proceed if a background check is not completed within a certain time frame. Now, this loophole was used by the gunman in the deadly mass shooting at a Charleston, North Carolina church. In North Carolina, people no longer have to get a permit to buy a handgun. Now, previously, residents had to get a permit from a local sheriff. Now, this comes after the state's General Assembly overrode Governor Roy Cooper's veto, making the law go into effect this week. News 3's Leandra Head spoke to a gun shop owner and brings us more.
You can pile laws on top of citizens, gun laws. It's not going to keep the bad guy from going to get a gun. He's going to get his gun, no matter what you do.
The new law places responsibility on gun dealers and gun shops to perform background checks for handgun purchases instead of law enforcement.
Is it going to make it easier to purchase a handgun? No.
The owner of Tam's Gun Shop in Ahoskie, North Carolina says the new law puts more work on gun shops and dealers.
It's going to double the workload, if not triple, quadruple the workload, definitely.
Gun shops will have to use a national background check system to approve or deny gun sales.
It could be 5 minutes, you can get approved, or it could take a delay, which could be 7 to 21 days.
Do you think you will have to hire more people?
Possibly. As busy as our workload here, yeah, definitely we will.
Here at Tam's Gun Shop, the owner tells me that people coming in to buy a gun will still have to go through a background check.
However, background checks will not be required for private sales in North Carolina.
We're big into Glocks.
Before the law was passed this week, North Carolina residents wanting to buy a handgun had to get a permit from a local sheriff.
These are just purchase permits for the month of March.
Gates County Sheriff Ray Campbell says those permit applications will be shredded with the new law going into effect this week. If an individual has a concealed carry license and comes in to buy a gun, a background check by the gun shop will not be needed. I'm Leandra Head, News 3.
Now, we've got some severe weather out west, but how will it affect Hampton Roads? Let's get a check of your weekend forecast with our chief meteorologist, Patrick Rocky. Hey, Patrick.
Well, hey, Pari. Yeah, it is a mess out west. I mean, portions of Iowa, Illinois, into Missouri, down into areas close to Tennessee and Kentucky. We've got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. So it's been a while since we've dealt with severe weather, thankfully. So let's break down what those boxes actually mean. Now, see these purple boxes here? Those are actually confirmed tornadoes. Tornadoes that have been cited by a trained weather spotter or a law enforcement officer. So we know that there is a tornado on the ground when you see those pink boxes. The red boxes are your garden variety tornado warnings. Generally, the folks at the National Weather Service see a signature on the radar that says tornado is on the ground or about to drop out of the clouds. So that's when we see the red box. The kind of yellow-orange boxes are severe thunderstorm warning boxes. And we don't have this on the screen, but when you see a green box, it means there is a flood warning as well. Hopefully we don't deal with any of those things this weekend, but we do expect that at least we're going to have some very strong winds outside of severe weather. I mean, we're talking about wind gusts 50+ miles per hour for tomorrow. And with this system, there is a slight chance we could see 1 or 2 tornadoes develop. So that's something else we're going to be watching very closely as we head into your Saturday. So look at all of those severe storms right now out to the west. I mean, they're developing along this really complicated storm system. This is the one that's going to bring us the windy conditions this weekend. We have this line right there, that red line. That's a warm front. That's been affecting us. You notice the temperatures heading up today. We have another